I hear these sex education classes are teaching kids how to get it on, like dirty style. Kids already hear enough from peers and TV that they should be having sex. They don't need to hear it from their school teachers. Schools should be teaching abstinence.
Contrary to what you might have heard, comprehensive sex education does cover abstinence. Students are taught not to have sex before they're ready and the benefits of abstaining. When people say they want to teach abstinence in schools, they mean only abstinence until marriage and nothing else. That's not education. That's propaganda.
So what? You make it sound like campaigning for what's right is wrong. But abstinence is the only method that is 100% effective against disease and unintended pregnancy. Kids do not need to know about methods that are less effective because they might be tempted to use them.
Abstinence is like all forms of birth control. It's only effective if you use it correctly all of the time. And the vast majority of us are going to have sex at some point, inside or outside of marriage, so we need other methods to reduce the risks. Marriage can be effective against STDs, but it's not bulletproof and it's not effective against unintended pregnancy. Currently, it's also not available to gay people in most states.
But there's more than STDs and unintended pregnancy. Sex before marriage also means you run the risk of having your heart broken or being rejected. Even feminists should see how premarital sex hurts women if they want to get married. Why buy the cow when you can get that milk for free?
Who are you calling a cow? Look, it's not just sex, but all of life that has this potential for rejection and heartbreak. Living your entire life in a bubble to protect yourself from hurt is a shadow existence. And we know from the high divorce rate that marriage is no shelter from heartbreak either. Relationships take honesty to work, and our sex education should be honest too. And look, 95% of people who get married had sex beforehand, so obviously virginity wasn't a requirement.
What are your thoughts about comprehensive sexual education versus abstinence only, and have you had any formal education in school or church or community centers?
I actually have my associates in applied science, registered nurse. As far as my opinion of either sex or no sex before marriage, my parents, they were a complete abstinence prior to marriage. They've been married 55 years. I believe that sex is a healthy part of a relationship, and obviously you're not going to go out and sleep around with everybody. You're going to wait till, you're going to practice safe sex. You're going to express yourself how you feel is right for the situation you're in. Go ahead.
Oh,
That's back to you.
back to me. I don't really care, because if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. You're not going to stop me by telling me all these things that can happen to me beforehand. It's just like I'm going to do naturally. Like, I've already done it with girls. Guys, keep that little angry mushroom away from me. But a lot of things, I took sex ed in high school. They don't really teach you a lot. They're like, oh, you're going to get HIV, you're going to get AIDS, and you're going to die. End of story. Like, when you're doing it with girls, like, there are dermals that you use when you're, like, going down on her, and they don't teach you those kinds of things. Like, you don't even know about that unless the other person has brought it up to you.
Yeah, a lot of schools are actually forbidden from telling people about anything other than heterosexual sex, because being gay is wrong. In fact, there's a lot of legislative articles in the Constitution for different states that they cannot touch on certain subjects.
Yeah, but being queer happens all the time in the animal kingdom. You have fish that become men and then they become women just because they can. Like,
It's true.
you have lesbian lions, you got queer apes, there's a gay penguin couple that raise their own children. That's amazing.
Why comprehensive?
Because abstinence doesn't work.
Why
at
doesn't it
all.
work?
Because it doesn't. People are going to do what they want to do, regardless of what they're taught in school. So it's better to be safe than to be not safe and not understand what's actually going on.
That's true.
And understanding what actually is going on leads to less underage people going that route. So,
Do you also think we should teach in schools other sexual orientations other than heterosexual?
why not? They exist. There's no sense in teaching a world that doesn't exist. And everyone's different.
That's a good one. I think comprehensive because kids are going to experiment with the unknown. So if they're going to do it, at least be safe. I mean, at least know how to be safe. Yeah, we want them to be abstinent, but still, if they do, be safe.
Do you also think that they should be teaching about other types of relationships, such as gay relationships, lesbian relationships, other than just heterosexual?
Are we talking schools?
Yes.
I think a lot of this stuff should be taught at home, but I think the parents need to have the right material, given the right materials, but when you start talking about this stuff at home, then the parents' personal belief will come in play. So that could be tainted a little bit. So I don't know if I want to leave that to the school to handle that for me. I think that's something I would want to handle for myself, because I have a pretty liberal view when it comes to that. I mean, to each his own. You love who you love, so.
Abstinence causes, I guess you would say, less problems, and it gives you the chance to focus basically on what's more important, and that's your education.
I think you should teach definitely sexual education, obviously, because the kids need to know, because you can't just have them ignorant their whole lives. But as long as it's at an appropriate age, as far as the abstinence part, just make that decision up to them. But definitely try to take probably around 12 or 13, maybe, and then you would definitely teach them like everything they need to know, or else you're just going to have a ton of problems if you don't teach them, because they're going to find out either way, and almost anybody can tell you that they'll find out either way, whether it's a good or bad way, depends.
I think that they should teach abstinence in school, because that's something, sexual education is something that you should have to learn when you're grown up and old enough to accept the responsibility of, and understand what sex is all about.
I guess I'll never know what I missed on that first day of health class.
Don't have sex, because you will get pregnant and die. Don't have sex in the missionary position. Don't have sex standing up. Just don't do it. Promise? Okay, everybody take some rubbers.